Yeah, and this is the key. So, in the last episode, towards the end, I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I think I should talk about accommodations right now. It has been a hot topic for a very long time, and people just keep talking about it, especially with what just recently happened with China and the LSAT. Or China and LSAC. So, what I'm going to say is that I've never had accommodations in general at all, but I've definitely worked with people who needed IEPs and things of that nature, and it only makes sense that they would be entitled to be able to take this big test with accommodations as well, and then also you'd also probably be able to get those accommodations in law school, highly likely. So this thought just came to my mind because this is the second time I'm recording this. I'm just gonna say, some people are looking for an excuse to blame for their lack of progress or their stagnancy in terms of their scores. So, and I'm saying this from a place where I think I can say this because I was in the 140s for a good while, and there was some breaks in between, and I didn't really put my best foot forward. But I will say, when I was thinking about myself and the fact that I didn't have accommodations, I do think that there was times when I'm thinking, if you're getting a 170 something and you have accommodations and I don't, that might be the missing factor in why I don't have a 170 something. But the truth is, and I was going to say this more towards the end, is that if you're not able to do the questions straight the first time, get them right, it's highly unlikely that with more time, you'll be able to miraculously all of a sudden get stuff right that you weren't getting right before. I mean, there are times when, as we're doing wrong answer journaling or what people refer to as blind reviews sometimes, that you see, oh, the longer I'm spending with something, that shows that I have an understanding. But that isn't always going to be the case, especially when you're missing information. And let's just say in general, sometimes you just don't even know what the stimulus is saying, and you spend a lot of time stuck on one problem. So having extra time isn't going to help someone who's not efficient under less time in general. So that's something that people need to consider. I do know someone, or I didn't really know them, but I was aware that they had a certain score range prior, and then they got accommodations, and it was a privilege to not, I want to say, because like it wasn't good news, but the fact that they were able to be transparent about their score turned out like I do appreciate the honesty and the clarity. So unfortunately, they didn't get much higher than something relatively closer to like the 120 range, even with the accommodations. But it really stems from the idea that you're missing the information as far as the foundations go to really be confident as you're going through, let's say, hypothetically, let's say you have double time. Most of the time, it's recommended that we try to do every single question, at least for some prep companies, within a minute. So if you're giving yourself, because you have double time now, about 2 minutes, if you're doing that, not even on test day, and most of the time you're spending that 2 minutes and you're still getting it wrong, what is extra time going to do on test day if you've not perfected the knowledge basis? People really need to think about that. People are not magically getting more time and all of a sudden their scores are increasing. They have to already be good and solid at the test to be able to know why something's wrong, why something's right. But if you do not have a solid foundation, you're going to be guessing, and you could make your score worse with extra time. I'm honestly going to say that. So I feel like this is a little bit longer than it needs to be already, but essentially it's that simple. There might be those who are benefiting from the time and they are making every single answer that they would have gotten wrong right because they're spending more time, but you already have to have a strong handle on what you're doing to be able to succeed with that on the first place. So to blame rising people averages getting like the 170s or rising amounts of people getting 170 plus, you have to consider that these people might already have a solid foundation. And then you have to kind of look closer at why people are getting accommodations. Is it anxiety? Is it panic attacks? Depression, things of that nature. I'm not even sure of all the lists of the different reasons why people might have accommodations. I know some people, they have, they might be deaf or blind, and then there's a change in how the test is delivered. So let's not get distracted with this too. Keep your focus. And if it really helps, go ahead and stay off of Reddit as much as possible, especially when you see stuff like this. Just go ahead and keep scrolling. Look for the positive tips, but don't drown in them either. And actually, that builds up to what I'm probably going to talk about in the next recording. Thank you for listening to Unlock the LSAT, and have a great time studying.